Hello and welcome. You're tuned into Market Fatafat with me, Ankita Saxena, and with me is Cheryl D'Souza. This is the show where we take you through all the stocks that are in news today, either on the back of research or on the back of technicals. But first, let's quickly take a track of where the market is at. Cheryl, another day, another record high for Nifty. It has given up those gains, but the drop is coming in Nifty Bank. If you see it, it's almost 300 points drop from the day's highest point, for Nifty Bank.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, Ankita, very good morning, good afternoon to you. I'm very sorry about that. But yes, good afternoon. And yes, turning out to be a somber afternoon after a record high hitting spree coming in for the benchmark indices. Even Nifty Bank actually surpassed at 53,000 for the first time ever. You had Sensex that hit 79,000 mark, stand corrected, as well as Nifty that surpassed 24,000 mark. So yes, a day of big numbers coming in for the indices, but yes, we've given up some of those initial morning gains, and the advanced decline ratio has now tilted in favor of the decline. So let's wait and watch and see how the trading transpires for the next 2 hours of the trading session. But talking about the list of gainers, Grasim is ruling the charts on the Nifty gainer side, while Shriram Finance is losing the most, 1.5% downtick coming for Shriram Finance. But let's leave it for the next 1 hour to cover all the stocks that are moving in trade, isn't it, Ankita?
Absolutely, Cheryl. So why wait? Let's get started with all the stocks that are in focus today. And for that, we are joined by Ashish Kyal, who's the founder and CEO of Wave Strategy Advisors on the technicals. And on the research side, we are joined by Jinay. Hi, both of you. Welcome to Market Fatafat. And let's get started with all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. Now, this stock, India Cement and Ultratech Cement, are in focus today. In fact, India Cement shares surged more than 13% in early trade to hit its 52-week high, following which company's market cap crossed $1 billion mark, for the first time. Now, this comes after Ultratech Cement board approved a non-controlling 23% stake acquisition in the former. Now, the deal size is estimated to be around 1,885 crore rupees, and about 6 crore shares have changed hands during the pre-market session itself, wherein the Ultratech Cement bought the shares of India Cement at a price of 267 rupees per share. Also, in a separate note by Goldman Sachs on Ultratech, they're maintaining a buy, and they've hiked the target price to 11,650 rupees on the share. So both the counters in focus today. Ultratech Cement trading with gains of more than 2.5%, and India Cements, of course, has cooled off those morning gains but is now trading with gains of 9%.
All right, so that's just about Ultratech Cement and India Cement. But let's not forget, on back of this particular deal, you have the entire cement pack that is buzzing in trade. But Ashish, coming to you, good afternoon, and you are going to move away from the cement pack and in fact talk about RBL Bank. What's exactly happening on the charts of RBL Bank? How is it looking right now to you?
Afternoon to you and all the viewers. If you look at RBL Bank, the stock has not performed much compared to Bank Nifty touching new highs. But RBL Bank has formed a very classic inverted head and shoulder pattern, and looks like it can give a very strong breakout on the upside. So it can do a lot of catch up on the upside, and we can expect the stock to move towards the level of 290. That's the target. And on the downside, the support for the stock is 253. So the risk reward looks very appealing from here, and we can expect it to move on the upside, giving a strong breakout.
All right, that is about RBL Bank and where it's headed going ahead. But let's talk about Bharti Hexacom, and that particular counter is sulking in trade today. Jefferies has come up with a note where they've downgraded the stock to a hold from buy rating. However, they've hiked the target price to 1290 from 1200 rupees per share. What they're saying is that Hexacom has unexpectedly acquired a spectrum worth about 1,000 crore rupees in the current telecom auction, and that should help the company to augment its data services by what Jefferies is maintaining is a 17% revenue CAGR over FY 24-27 and a 23% EBITDA CAGR over FY 24-27. But they've cut the earnings estimate by 4%, this to factor in the spectrum spends. They say after more than doubling since its IPO in April, the stock is trading at 20% premium to Airtel's India operations. Therefore, the risk reward is pretty unfavorable. That's why the downgrade is coming for Bharti Hexacom from Jefferies.
All right, moving on to the other counter, KEC International, a big order win coming in there. Janay, tell us what's this deal win?
Well, yes, so the company has secured order of about 1,025 crores in their T&D, which is transmission and distribution and cable segments. Now, if you talk about T&D segment, then they have secured orders from India, Africas and Americas. They have secured a 765 kilovolts GIS substation order in India and from Power Grid Corporation, and a 225 kilovolts GIS transmission line substation and underground cabling in south of Africa, and they've also got a supply of towers, cables and poles in Americas. Now on the cable front, they have secured an order for various supply of types of cables in India as well as overseas. Now commenting on this, Mr. Vimal Kejriwal, who's the MD and CEO of the company, told that with these orders, the total year-to-date orders of the company has surpassed 4,000 crores level, seeing a growth of about 70% year-on-year basis.
Alright, moving on, let's shift focus then to Indus Towers. Ashish, how is this one looking on the charts to you? A lot of news flow and a lot of news action actually has impacted the stock price, isn't it, for Indus Towers? But on the charts and purely on technicals, how is Indus Towers looking to you?
Towers was consolidating for over past few months, but if you look at over past 2 days, including today, it has given a very strong breakout on the upside. Also, there is a moving average crossover, that is what we can see, and the overall trend looks to be resuming on the positive side. So Indus Towers is looking bullish to me. We can expect a target of around 390 on the upside, and on the downside, the support for the stock is going to be around 350 levels.
Alright, moving on to the other counter in news, Mazagon Docks is in focus today, and it is coming on the back of the fact that they have been granted the Navratna status by the Department of Public Enterprises. Now it has become the country's 18th PSU to have been accorded the status. As a Navratna company, Mazagon Docks can undertake investments worth up to 1,000 crore rupees, in fact, without needing approval from the central government. And these companies also have the liberty to invest up to 30% of their net worth within a year, as long as it remains within the 1,000 crore rupee mark. And Navratna company is also allowed to form joint ventures, alliances and establish subsidiaries board. And on the back of that, Mazagon Docks, look at the sharp spike coming in, is trading with gains of over 9% right now.
Right, let's not forget the Mazagon Dock has been buzzing in trade on back of this news flow for its second consecutive session. In fact, Ashish, coming to you, NLC India, how is this one looking in the charts?
If you look at NLC India, the stock had resistance around 245, 243, and it is managing to break out of that resistance zone. So looks like a bullish structure over here, and we can already see a bullish candlestick formation along with pickup in volume. So the overall tone for NLC India is positive. We can expect it to reach towards the target of around 270 on the upside, and the support for the stock is around 240 levels.
Alright, let's shift focus to Whirlpool, and not just Whirlpool, let's also shift focus to Bosch India. Both of these counters are in focus in trade today, and Whirlpool primarily saw an uptick of as much as 10.9% on an intraday basis, taking the stock to the highest level since December 2021. And the reason being for that is reports suggested, and it's a source-based report that's suggesting that German engineering group, that's Robert Bosch, is weighing a bid for the US appliances maker, that is Whirlpool, and this has been a source-based information. Whirlpool has not commented on the market rumor, but the US company's also shares had surged by about 12% on back of this news, and Whirlpool right now is trading higher. But remember, this is a global news flow that will have an impact on the Indian subsidiary, and yes, it's a source-based news, agency-based news.
Alright, Jinay, coming to you, SJVN is what you've picked out for us. Tell us what's the news flow here.
The company has signed an MOU with AM Ammonia India Private Limited. AM Ammonia Private Limited company is actually under Greenco Group and is developing one of the world's largest green ammonia platforms in Andhra Pradesh. Now, this platform shall be developed in 2 phases with a capacity of 1 million ton per annum, and ramping up this capacity towards 5 tons by 2030. Also, under this MOU, both the parties have actually agreed to cooperate with each other for the supply and sourcing of renewable energies on long-term basis. Now, SGEL, which is a subsidiary of SJVN, will be exploring setting up a 4,500 megawatt renewable energy plant, and which will be done in 2 phases. First, it will be including around 2,500 to 3,000 megawatt of solar project and 1,500 to 2,000 megawatt of wind projects over 3 phases.
Alright, the next stock, let's talk about Grasim then. Ashish, definitely cement is the sector of the day, to put it so. But Grasim, how is this one looking in the charts? Do you think that this can be a stock of the year in someone's portfolio?
Yes, absolutely. Asim, I think the stock has steadily moved on the upside, and despite of the sell-off that we saw in June starting, we can clearly see that it has surpassed all the levels touching 52-week high. So the overall tone for the stock, even from the medium to long-term perspective, is bullish. It can be in the portfolio of investors. And over short term also, we can expect the stock to reach towards the level of around 2,800 on the upside. And one can maintain a stop loss for the stock around 2,500 levels.
All right, moving on to an ET Now exclusive then. My colleague Asa Chopra caught up with Rajiv Raghuvanshi, the Drug Controller General of India, the Government of India. Listen in to the growth roadmap that he sees for the pharma industry.
Growth opportunities, the target we have put for 2030 at $130 billion, which is almost 2.5 times of the current value of the trade. So that means everybody has an opportunity to grow by 2.5 times. And it's a huge in 6-7 years. So opportunity for industry is immense. It is almost on the platter because internationally also, as a country, there is nobody who at this point of time is at par with Indian manufacturing and supply chain system. So opportunity, of course, for everybody. But I always say that unless until the quality becomes core of the pharma business for us, that opportunity is not going to get basically used for us as a country.
The last question, you are taking internal auditing also for the manufacturers. What are your intakes? What is your recommendations, your priorities about the auditing?
Quality, quality, quality. That's the only option. Otherwise, you will lose on the opportunity which is there at the global scale, and you will also have problems from the domestic regulator because we don't have any other option, because we have to also look at the country image, because being the pharmacy of the world, we have also responsibility with respect to public health on the international forum, and whatever we do is actually serving the whole world, if I say. Every corner, every third pill in the world is an Indian pill. So if we have to keep that, reaching to top is actually comparatively easier than maintaining that position.
All right, so that is the Drug Controller General of India talking about how they're going to take renewed audit of the Indian companies, and this in order to ensure that there is quality, given the fact that our pharma companies are global-based pharma companies. But not just that, my colleague Asta also caught up with the pharmaceutical secretary, Arunish Chawla. Let's hear what he had to say about the industry.
Indian pharma industry has achieved double-digit growth over the last 10 years. It is in a takeoff stage. We have already proved our mettle in the generic space. We are called the pharmacy of the world. The next revolution that is coming is in biosimilars and in the medical devices. In the biosimilar space, we have done a study on what is called the patent cliff. About 200 large and small molecules are coming off the patent in the next 5 years. We are already working on it. We have a PLI scheme which is very flexible, and industry is already working on it. And we will take advantage, and we will grow. We will achieve in the biosimilars and medical device space what we have proved and achieved in the generic space.
All right, with that, it's time for a quick breather. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we get you some more stocks. Welcome back. You're tuned into Market Fatafat, where we are taking you through all the stocks that are in focus today. So let's get started yet again. RVNL is a stock that is in focus. In fact, the share price jumped 2% in early trade, after the company bagged an order from Southern Railway. The KRDCL and RVNL joint venture have received a letter of acceptance from the Southern Railway for the provision of automatic signalling on B route of Thiruvananthapuram division in the Southern Railway, and the contract is worth 156 crore rupees, in which RVNL share stands at 49%, while the remaining is held by KRDCL. The said order is likely to be completed in another 750 days, and on the back of this order win, RVNL is in focus today. Currently, it has given up those gains and is trading with gains of just 0.1%.
All right, let's shift focus. Let's talk about JSW Energy. Ashish, no doubt the stock is trading higher today on back of a news flow that is supporting that sort of a move. They've signed a PPA for about 1,325 megawatts of renewable energy projects. But this one is has been moving in tandem with the rest of the power pack as well, isn't it? Not just news flow, it's just the sentiment in the sector and the technical charts, you believe?
Absolutely. Look at the overall sector has been buzzing, and JSW Energy, not only today, it has been moving up for over past 20 days since 4th of June. We can clearly see that, and the stock has outperformed. The overall trend remains bullish. We can clearly see higher high, higher low pattern that suggests the trend is on the upside. So one can expect a target on the upside at around 780 levels, and the stop loss can be placed at around 700 levels.
All right, let's talk about Dr. Reddy's then, and that particular counter is in focus in today's trading session. Last time I checked, the stock was trading higher in excess of about 2% or so, and it was among the top gainers on the Nifty Pharma index, but yes, it is holding on to those gains. The company said it will be acquiring UK-based Halion's nicotine replacement therapy, that is NRT business, for about 500 million pounds, and Dr. Reddy's acquisition of the portfolio will include the Nicotinell brand of nicotine gum, the lozenges as well as patches that falls in line with the company's effort to expand its global consumer health portfolio. The acquisition of the brands will translate into earnings accretion for Dr. Reddy's from the first year, is what Macquarie has to say. And remember that Dr. Reddy's draws most of its revenue from North America as well as Europe. A lot of the brokerages have come up with their view and also saying that this also will support the company's strategy going ahead. So on back of that, you have Dr. Reddy's trading higher by about 2%.
All right, Janai, coming to you, PV Fintech is what you picked out for us. In fact, this one is trading with gains of over 4%. A brokerage, I believe, on the back of a brokerage note. Tell us, what is the brokerage note saying?
So Citi have maintained their buying rating with the target price of rupees 1600 on Policy Bazaar. Now they have opened a 90-day positive catalyst watch owing to the strong Q1 operational performance by the companies. Company has sustained the growth in their fresh retail health and term insurance premiums, coupled with also gaining market share. Now the company has also gained their improvement in margins from the new initiatives. Now favorable base and strong growth in motor is what something will be aiding growth. Further growth is what Citi believes. Now company has also sustained the improvement in EBITDA margins despite strong new business trends. Now Citi believes that the revival in Policy Bazaar's disbursement volume will recover post Q4.
So that is about Citi talking about PB Fintech, and they have opened that 90-day catalyst watch. But Ashish, what about you? You are also of similar view going ahead for PB Fintech, that great days ahead coming in?
Out in today's session, so the overall tone for PB Fintech is positive. We can expect it to reach towards the level of 1600. That's the target of the width of the triangle on the upside, and on the downside the support for the stock is placed at 1340 levels.
All right, that is PV Fintech for you. But moving on to the GST relief, moving on to Cheryl, I believe you picked out Wockhardt, as a stock. Tell us what's the news flow that's powering the stock.
Right, Wockhardt has been in news and has been actually buzzing for almost the last two trading session, and today also you have Wockhardt that will be in focus on the fact that you have the annual report that has come up for Wockhardt and some positive commentary coming in from the annual report. The stock has given up the gains, but there is a positive commentary on the discovery pipeline as well as the projects largely on track is what the company is saying. They have said that they have in their annual report have said that the promising developments of this super drug WCK 5222 filed for trademark in India. They are saying that it is designed to address all major superbugs, including including E. coli, and also they are saying that it is undergoing global phase 3 clinical trials, which will be concluded in the financial year. Apart from that, what they are saying, they're expecting the global approval for this particular novel drug to be delivered by the end of 2025 or early 2026. They are also saying that they have also completed phase 3 clinical trials for another drug as well, and also their R&D efforts is going well in the biological segment, where they are enjoying a competitive edge, especially in the strong and path-breaking presence in the diabetic segment. So on back of that, your walkout has been buzzing in trade.
All right, walk hard in focus today. But moving on to the GST relief that is coming in for the insurance companies like ICICI Lombard and New India Assurance. Well, the Department of Revenue has clarified about taxability on the salvage value. Now, that says if salvage value is deducted from the claims, it is the insured's property and not the insurers, eliminating the GST liability for the insurers. Remember, ICICI Lombard had earlier received a 270 crore GST notice, which will be void. My colleague Anurag Shah is joining us with more details on this.
So in GST Council meeting, we have seen that insurance companies got relief on co-insurance premium, reinsurance commission, and now the Revenue Department has issued clarification related to the salvage value deduction also. So it's a big relief for general insurance companies, because general insurance companies were getting GST demand notices on salvage value deductions, and now Revenue Department has clearly mentioned that salvage value deduction during the motor insurance claim by insurance company will not be considered as a supply, so it will not be taxable under the GST. And if in a case in a motor insurance claim, if the full claim is given of the IDV value and the salvage is capped with the insurance company, then it will be taxable. But the salvage value deduction in which salvage is capped with the policy holders or the vehicle owners, in that deduction, the salvage value will not be taxable. So we have seen that last year, August 2023, ICICI Lombard got 273 crore of GST demand notice on the salvage value deduction, and again they have protested and deposited 100 crore. So it's a big relief for ICICI Lombard also, because after the Revenue Department clarification, company is going to get back that money also. Other than that, on the ITC, input tax credit in motor insurance repairs, for the reimbursement claim also, it has been clarified by Revenue Department that the insurance company will be able to claim the input tax credit. So two clarifications by Department of Revenue completely in favor of general insurance companies.
All right, thank you so much for that, Anurag, for getting us that relief, that likely relief the ICICI Lombard, New India Assurance as well as Go Digit will get on back of the GST tax. But on that note, we slip into a break on this edition of Market Fatafat. More stocks on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
Friends. If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.